Scottie Pippen was portrayed as badly as he conceivably could have been. They showed you everything Scottie did wrong over the entirety of his career and very little of what he did right.
Do you think that Michael Jordan would be as successful without you?
No.
Scottie Pippen's name echoes through the halls of NBA history. He is armed with 6 NBA championships. Pippen was to Michael Jordan what Robin was to Batman. But a lot of us didn't know that behind his extraordinary success and prowess on the court, there is an ugly reality about Scottie Pippen's contract. It's cursed.
Scottie turns it in right in the lane. Bulls back on the break. Pippen on the drive. Spins it off to Horace Grant. He lays it in.
Back in the day, when the Bulls were the bomb, our man Scottie Pippen was cashing checks that had us saying, "Say what?" In today's video, we'll break down the heartfelt reasons that had Pippen playing NBA hardball on a dime, and how the Bulls were making bank from his under-the-radar earnings. First, let's start from the beginning and rewind that mixtape by reliving Scottie's slam dunk journey from his NBA rookie days. Bouncing out of the University of Central Arkansas, Pippen was snapped up as the 5th pick in the 1987 NBA draft by the Seattle Supersonics.
Select Scott Pippen of Central Arkansas.
But before he could say Seattle, a slick trade deal sent him packing to the Bulls, swapping him out for Olden Polynice. Pippen started riding the pine, but by the 1988 NBA playoffs, it was clear as crystal. Pippen was the secret sauce in the Bulls' winning recipe. Fast forward to his 3rd season. Boom! Pippen was slam dunking the All-Star game, averaging 16.5 points, 6.7 rebounds, 5.4 assists, 2.6 steals, and 1.2 blocks per game.
Got blocked by Scottie Pippen.
His D-game was so lit, you couldn't ignore it. But here's where it gets interesting. How did Pippen get himself tangled up in this spaghetti contract mess? Well, Pippen's first deal was a rookie contract for $2.83 million over 4 years. A little lowball, sure, but not completely out of left field. However, it all got muddier than a dirty laundry basket when Pippen decided to renegotiate after just 2 years. This gave him a 5-year, $18 million deal, tying him to the Bulls for a grand total of $19.45 million over 7 years. That's right, the Bulls locked in an all-star player for less than your grandpa's old car. Well, if your grandpa is this man right here. Now, if you're balling in the street, you receive a $19.45 million contract to play in the NBA, you'd probably sign that faster than a sneaker deal. But if you're as mad talented as Pippen, well, that's a different ballgame. So you're probably wondering, why would Pippen settle for pocket change? Especially with the Bulls fan base blowing up like a Kardashian Instagram post. Hold on to your seats, you won't believe this. Because Pippen himself called the shots on this negotiation. Yep, he went against the advice of his agents and even Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner of the Bulls. But why, Pippen? Why? You see, Pippen wasn't just bouncing the ball for the fun of it. Behind those stunning dunks and swift passes was a man shouldering a mountain of responsibility. Born into a large family, he had to navigate through the hard knocks of life from an early age. His father, paralyzed by a stroke, and a brother bound to a wheelchair due to a cruel twist of fate, added to the heavy burden on his shoulders. Their financial situation was, to put it simply, well, it was terrible. Now, picture yourself wearing Pippen's shoes. The Bulls slid an $18 million deal across the table for 7 years. What would you do? And then there's that scary thought of a career-ending injury, lurking in the back of your mind. One wrong step and boom, you're out of the game. Your paycheck disappears like a ghost, and it's back to square one for your fam. Ain't nobody got time for that. These were the facts of life that pushed Pippen into a contract faster than a rapper spits bars, even if it meant he was counting pennies compared to his teammates. And we must respect him for that. But little did he know, there's a big cash wave coming. The league's salary cap was about to blow up like fireworks on the 4th of July, and our man Pippen was holding the match. Over 7 years, the salary cap went from a decent $11.9 million to a jaw-dropping $26.9 million. And the reason behind it is that the Bulls were the hottest ticket in town, baby. Looking back, Pippen's old contract makes as much sense as pineapple on a pizza. Hey, wait, I like pineapple on a pizza. The salary cap was soaring higher, and Pippen's deal was looking lamer by the minute. By the end of his contract, Pippen, a 7-time All-Star and All-NBA member, was raking in less dough than 121 other players in the league. Even MJ, the high-flying king himself, wasn't cool with Pippen's deal. He once said, "Man, if there was a legit way I could slide Pip some of the moolah he deserves, I'd do it in a heartbeat." MJ knew the score. He saw Pippen's hustle and wished for him to be paid his worth. But sadly, not everyone had that kind of vision. Over at the Bulls headquarters, the executives weren't exactly shedding tears over Pippen's paycheck. Pip tried to rewrite his deal, but the Bulls are Bulls, and you cannot Bulls them. Do you get the point? This led to some real tension between Pippen and the Bulls boss, Jerry Krause. And Pippen didn't hold back about how he was feeling. He even put off foot surgery just to throw a wrench in the Bulls' game plan. And he started looking around for a new team. Forbes, the big-time business mag, didn't hold back on calling out the Bulls either. In an article, they were like, "Yo, the Bulls could have fixed Pippen's deal and bumped his pay when the cap shot up in 1995. The Bulls owed him big time for everything he'd done. But did they step up? Nope." But even though Pippen's wallet might have been crying, his low pay helped the Bulls assemble a dream team. With Pippen getting paid extremely low, the Bulls had extra green to bring in top dogs like Tony Kukoc, Dennis Rodman, and Ron Harper. And listen carefully, here's the thing. If Pippen was making the bank that he deserved, the Bulls' championship dreams might have stayed dreams. So, in a roundabout way, Pippen threw himself and unintentionally sacrificed for the team. The Bulls milked this situation for all it was worth. Yet, this saga also threw a spotlight on the shoddy relationship between the Bulls executives and their star players. It's enough to make you wonder, could the Bulls have hit even greater heights if their bosses played nice and kept Coach Phil Jackson around? Let us know what you think about it. Pass the ball in the comments section below, and you can assure that we are going to slam dunk it. And back to the ball game. The tug-of-war between Pippen and the Bulls was definitely a sour note in a symphony of 6 NBA titles in the 90s. But as 1998 rolled around and that infamous contract ran out, the tides began to turn. The Bulls went against the flow and actually helped Pippen land a big payday. They sent him to Houston with a sign-and-trade deal that stuffed Pippen's pockets with a whopping 5-year, $67 million contract. Oh, and let's not forget the extra $10 million in potential incentives. Talk about a glow-up. Pippen returned to the Windy City for the last dance of his career, and the Bulls handed him $10 million to hang his sneakers up as one of their own. When the final buzzer sounded on Pippen's career, he'd netted a cool $110 million over 17 seasons. And get this, he even out-earned his heiress MJ by a cool $20 million. Even with all the dollar sign drama, no one can dispute Pippen's game-changing impact. That's why the dude's considered one of the all-time greats in the NBA. Pippen's not just a player, folks. He's a lesson in perseverance, a symbol of hustle, and a testament why we love this game so much.
For us, where did they come from?
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.